3, 2. What's good, everybody? We are back again for another episode of the No Hedging podcast. This is not just any episode. It is a Super Bowl episode. What the fuck does that mean?
It's Darwin.
I go by the name of Arnell Hill. Did you miss me? Nah, I'm Rip 16, the GOAT.
I'm tired of Fly Jet, man. What up, chat?
And we are the Mighty No Hedging podcast duo, man.
It's the last episode of the NFL season.
Did it just hit you?
I'm so hurt.
The shot just hit me. What? I'm not hurt at all. Make sure y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe. Because although this is the last game of the football season, which is always bittersweet, but it's not over yet because
Never sweet is always bitter.
we have more things in store in the channel for the future. I got some things I'm gonna make sure y'all tap in and catch up with me about, because basketball season is still very much so alive. But we got to talk about the Super Bowl, man. It's been a long journey this season. Feels like this season has been 2 seasons, if you will. It's been a roller coaster ride. It's been a lot of favorites. It's been a lot of ups and downs. A lot of teams we thought would be in the dance that aren't in the dance. A lot of teams we thought had a great shot to be in the dance this year. It was some teams we thought were most complete. It was some teams that were super hot going into the playoffs. And honestly, none of those teams are the teams that we got right here in this game. So that makes it all the more interesting, man. But we do plan on telling you everything you need to know about the Super Bowl. So make sure y'all stay tuned, tapped in for the entirety of this episode, because it is important. Anything else you want to tell the people before we dive in?
Let's jump in, bro. Let's go.
Well, let's start with one of our favorite things that we always have to do around here. We're gonna keep it brief, as my girl like to say on the ground right now. She always said keep it black, but keep it brief. Let's do takeaways. What do you got? So, it was 2 teams that's left.
Yeah.
That is the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots, in case you've been underneath a rock.
Yep.
The Seattle Seahawks defeated the Los Angeles Rams in a shootout to get here, and the New England Patriots defeated the Denver Broncos in a defensive battle to get here. What were some of your takeaways that are important for that game? Just briefly refreshing the people just in case they forgot.
Well, I'll start on the Seattle side with them playing the Rams. It was their 3rd time playing.
It was.
So it was a lot of familiarity there, which
is one of our favorite words.
Yeah, a lot of familiarity there. So that basically that helped them out a little bit. And I think the turning point of that game was that muff punt by the Rams in the red zone.
That was ugly.
If that doesn't happen, we can have a different outcome potentially, because that puts them in that does, if they don't muff the ball there, the Rams got the ball and they, you know what I mean? So they working their way down the field.
Seattle had a little situation right after that though. So the Rams benefited off of a
Seattle didn't score off of that, I don't think they
might have got a
they got a field goal. I think they got a field goal off of that.
Field goal off of that play. But Seattle had a key play that didn't go in their favor and turned around for the Rams also. So I felt like it kind of neutralized the muff punt just a little bit, but Seattle was able to put up points at that particular time. And
that was a huge momentum shift.
I think it was momentum for sure.
Yeah, that was a huge momentum shift for Seattle. I mean, the Rams, they still had opportunity to do something towards the end of the game, but I mean, Seattle was just too late. It was just too late. It ran out of time. Seattle played better. overall.
They did, and to Sam Darnold's credit, he played a clean game. For the most part, he was pretty efficient throughout that game. He was on target with his passes. You know, he got his guy JSN involved. Of course, I mean, it's hard to stop him. The man has 1,700 yards receiving this year for a reason. So, I mean, but getting to your impact players, getting to the guys that you need to get to, making timely possessions, capitalizing off of turnovers, all these different things, 3 and outs on defense, all these different things are important. So, I mean, to me, Seattle winning that game, they earned it, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we were definitely leaning towards the Rams in that game. But to their credit, Seattle didn't give a damn what nobody thought. They came out and they played and they won that game. They didn't. I don't think the Rams lost that game. I think Seattle won that game.
Yeah.
So on the other side of the football, well, not the other side of the football, the other side of the country, if you so to speak, we had the
Patriots and the Broncos.
During that game, it was highly defensive. And in fact, the only touchdown that the Patriots were able to score came off of really a defensive takeaway when they got that backwards pass off of Stidham. That it really could have been a touchdown if the ref didn't blow it dead.
Right.
So that would have been a defensive touchdown right there, but they were so close in field position that I think Drake May made one pass to, I forget who, maybe Kayshawn or Diggs, I can't remember. But he made one good pass, and then he ran in. So 2 plays, you get a touchdown off of that turnover. And that was the only touchdown that the Patriots scored in that game, which was a little bit concerning, I'm not going to lie. Denver not scoring touchdowns with Stidham, not having Bo Nix in that game. That part wasn't that surprising, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Patriots defense has been good throughout the playoffs. And then you put in a backup quarterback. He had a full week to prepare, but I mean, he's still the backup quarterback.
Yeah. And that showed at the end of the game.
And that showed.
When he threw that interception. You know what I mean? He still had like a lot of time left on the clock for them to go down the field and do something. But throughout the whole entire game, they weren't moving the ball efficiently. You know, it was, and New England knew that. It was situations and scenarios in which New England was like, it's 3rd down, we just gonna run the ball. It's 3rd down, we just gonna throw it out of bounds. We're gonna punt it back to them because we know they can't move the ball down the field. We know they can't score. We're gonna trust our defense. And they did that on 2 or 3 different occasions. And, you know, the defense pretty much held Denver in check.
Vrabel played a game of chicken and won. So, I mean,
and then the weather too, the way that the weather switched up in the middle of that game, like at the beginning of the game, it was flurries. Like clear, and then like by 4th quarter, it was snow everywhere.
Yeah, snow on the
ground.
The
weather impacted that game, so it was a whole bunch that came into play. You know, there was a lot of question about Sean Payton not taking the 3 points on that 4th and 1 in the first quarter or whatever the case may be, but you know, it is what it is. You know, points are at a premium. He was being aggressive. So you got to kind of look at it from both scenarios. All right, points at a premium. Should I just go ahead and kick that field goal, get the 3 points? Or should I go be aggressive and try to get this 4th and 1 and score a touchdown? You know, who knows? But either way, you know, it's just a very highly defensive game with the weather conditions that come into play. It was just one of those types of games where, you know, whoever had the ball last or whoever scored, you know, the most points obviously was going to win the game in that situation scenario. Whoever can move the ball,
right,
and not, you know, get any turnovers or anything like that. But it was nasty.
Yeah. So taking that information though, parlaying it into the Super Bowl, let's get into a segment of this Super Bowl episode that we like to call Keys to Success.
Yes.
So parlaying, we got the key, we got the key. Yeah. Or the future. So parlaying that information that we just talked about from their championship games of both respective teams, What do you think the keys are success for? Since you were just talking about them, what do you think the keys are success for New England to be able to win or have a great shot at winning this game?
I think the keys to success for New England, defensively, they need to continue doing what they was doing throughout the whole playoffs with limiting the run. They can't allow Kenneth Walker or allow the Seattle offense to lean in on that run game, because then that opens up the play action game for Sam Darnold. But if they can do what they've been doing all playoffs and slowing down that run game, they held Houston for low yards. They held Denver for low yards rushing the ball. So throughout the whole playoffs, they've been doing what they were supposed to do in that aspect. So one, defensively, they have to stop the run game. Another thing is they need to guard JSN. Okay, you got Christian Gonzalez. That's the matchup that I'm looking for.
Yeah,
I'm looking at that matchup all game long. Seeing
Gonzo gonna have a long day.
Yeah, it's gonna be. But he's up for the challenge. I know he's up for the challenge. He's a top 5 cornerback in the league, in my opinion. So I think he can handle the task. So I say limit JSN because there's no way you can't stop him. So limit him as much as possible. Lastly, for New England, I think what they need to do offensively is utilize Drake May's legs as much as possible. Make him a dual threat quarterback. Seattle likes to play a lot of zone defense, but if you can have Seattle a little off balance or catch them in a scenario where they're playing a little bit man defense or sending in a blitz and he can get away and escape, because Drake May likes to escape up the middle of the pocket. So if he can escape up the middle of that pocket and, just run in the heart of that defense and use his legs, I think that's going to be a major key to success for New England.
Okay. So you think in New England, if they're better when Drake May runs?
They're better when Drake May runs the ball, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the games where he has high rushing totals, they've been generally successful most of the season. One of the big arguments that people have had against the New England Patriots all season is they had such an easy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Now, New England Patriots fans don't want to hear that.
No.
Because they had success, and shout out to Jay Bird. He will defend Drake May to the end of days.
Mm-hmm.
He says that the Patriots, and he's a Patriots fan, so he was like, the Patriots beat the top 5 defenses in the NFL. And I'm like, okay, yeah. But a few of those, it's like, okay, but when did you beat them?
Mm-hmm. They beat 2 of them in the playoffs.
They beat 2 of them. And you can make an argument that the Chargers and the top 5 also.
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely went through some tough defenses. My concern was the offense of those teams that they beat. Now, in this particular situation, you dealing with JSN.
Mm-hmm.
You dealing with Sam Darnold, who has played better than we've probably ever seen him play.
Right.
You dealing with K9, who has turned up during the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think in order for New England to win, it's definitely going to be defense. I think this for both teams, but I definitely think the defensive side of the football, and more than anything, is going to be important because you have to find a way to limit the production of the Seattle Seahawks, because they've been able to run the ball, they've been able to pass the ball, they've been able to avoid turnovers, they've been able to cause turnovers. They've been able to do pretty much whatever they want. They've been having their way. So in order to be successful against them and win, you're going to have to limit their options. You're going to have to make them one-dimensional, and then you're going to have to lock the fuck in on JSN. Like you said, he's going to have to be limited, because I don't believe that even the top corners in the league can stop him. But you can't have him go off for another monster 150. Him having a 150-yard receiving game, you see what that did to the Rams, and the Rams are one of the most complete teams in the NFL this season. So, and the familiarity factor, you would think they would, figure out different ways to cover him after playing him 3 times, but no. So
It's hard.
So limiting JSN is going to be a big factor, of course, but I think defensively you're going to have to definitely try to make him one-dimensional. If you can do those two things, then you're giving Drake May a good chance at making it, because I think Vrabel makes good play calls. He's been a pretty smart coach in terms of decision-making. I can't really think of too many occasions where it was like, that was a questionable call.
Right.
Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? I think he's made solid decisions. And to his credit, I think his players have put him in position where he doesn't have to make any of those crazy decisions either. If you can trust your offense to go out there and convert, or if you can trust your defense enough to punt the ball and get the ball back to you, manage the clock well, balance the run and the pass, I think all of those things have been good for them. So another key to success for me on that side is they're going to have to be successful in running the ball. Ramondre Stevenson has been better in the playoffs. I would like for them to get Henderson a little bit more involved.
Yeah.
I think if you can rest Stevenson a little bit, because he's such a downhill runner, like pound run up the middle and all these type of plays.
I agree. I think they need to use him like Detroit uses Montgomery and Gibbs, right? Because Henderson is explosive, but he's the more explosive.
He can make
back.
big plays.
And then and Henderson, Stevenson is the power back. So like you can use them interchangeably that way. Because I mean Henderson, I think he has like 2 or 3 touchdowns over 50 yards this year.
He's had some monster plays. Yeah. Like, he definitely has some breakaway speed if he gets in the open field. Like, it's a lot of upside to having him out there. And it helps Drake May, because he's going to be dealing with some pressure.
Yes, he is.
He's going to be dealing with a lot of pressure. Matter of fact, speaking of that, what are your keys to success for Seattle? Because I think pressure on May is one of the keys to success for Seattle in this game. Like, generating all that type of pressure on Drake May, it forces him to scramble some more. But if you can kind of contain it, then you can turn some of those into sacks rather than positive yards. Or you can turn it into 3 and outs if you limit him to the point where he may scramble, but he's only getting like 2 yards. Yeah. So, I mean, what else are you seeing?
I think with Seattle, they need to keep riding, the back of Kenneth Walker. You know what I mean? Specifically running the ball. This is what got them here. Yeah. Kenneth Walker had a nice performance in the playoffs. Even before on the way into the playoffs, he was playing even better. Like from the beginning of the season to now, it's like night and day. His production has been crazy. So if they can run the ball effectively with him, they don't have to put Sam Darnold in those positions where he has to drop back every single play. It opens up the play action. They can throw the ball to him. He's been having, we looked this up previously. He's been impactful in the passing game as well. Kind of like an outlet to Sam Darnold or a check down to Sam Darnold. Yeah. So, I mean,
he's just as effective as a receiver as a running back against the Rams.
So, if you use Kenneth Walker, run the ball a little bit more there, I think that helped them as well. Sam Darnold, he has to protect the football. We know Sam Darnold has, instances where he can go on a turnover spree. So, if he protects the football, that puts them in a better position, obviously. Pressuring Drake May on the defensive side of the football, as you spoke about. They got guys on that defensive line that can get after them. DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams. They got guys on that defensive front. And they send blitzes with, Emanwari, the rookie safety, and Witherspoon. So if they get that pressure, I know they're going to dial it up. That's what Mike McDonald does. He brings pressure every now and then. They can get after Drake May and stop him there. And that'll obviously limit some of those scrambles, right? They have to limit the scrambles that I spoke about for the Patriots. Key to winning the game was Drake May scrambling. They limit his ability to scramble the ball and not be a dual threat quarterback. Right. Then I think they have an opportunity to win the game.
No, for sure. I mean, and you named a few guys who are key players who you think in that game. So, actually, let's parlay that to another wonderful, important part of this Super Bowl episode, and that is ImpactPlayers.
Yeah.
So speaking on the ImpactPlayers in this game, You named a couple guys, but who are some of your impact players? Let's start with Seattle on this side. Who are some of your impact players for this game?
Obviously, I like JSN as a big impact player on the offensive side of the football. We know what JSN can do, getting open, catching everything in his catch radius, down the field, deep, intermediate, short. They started using him out of the backfield to create space. He's a good impact player for the Seattle Seahawks. Kenneth Walker.
And one more thing on JSN. For my people that haven't really been watching really closely but tapping in to watch the Super Bowl or want to do some bets, just to give you a good idea of how good JSN has been this season, his receiving line in this game is 96 and a half. Okay? These are ridiculous numbers. Okay? This sounds far-fetched, but it's not that crazy for him. Him and Puka Nacua are probably the only two people where you see 90 yards receiving and you like, okay, I get it. So he's been a monster for sure this season. His receiving line is going to be, we're going to get into that some more a little bit further into this episode. But I do think JSN is a huge impact player, of course, just because he just opens up the entire offense. It's like you have to shift the defense. You have to take their best cornerback and put him over there.
Yeah.
Like you
Or
have to
double him.
do all these things, double him, bracket him. You got to do everything you can to try to stop him. Because if you don't, your grand prize is Rashid Shaheed is streaking down the field behind your defense and you didn't notice. Or Kenneth Walker is rushing out of the backfield. Or Kenneth Walker has snuck out of the backfield and caught the ball on a wheel route because he's been pretty good at receiving. You know, he just opens up the rest of the players on the team when he's having those monster days. But he's also the reliable target guy when you need a conversion. I need somebody to throw to. I need somebody to make a play. That's your impact player. That's your game changer, as Cam Newton would say.
That's what Sam Darnold going with the ball.
So, but who are some of your other guys that you would name?
Kenneth Walker, as I mentioned briefly previously. You know, his ability to run the football, catch the ball out of the backfield, you just spoke about. Very, you know, when they get the ball going and when Kenneth Walker is going, that dude got the speed, the toughness. He breaks tackles. He makes people miss in open field. It's hard to tackle him. So once he gets going, he's a problem. Another one I like on the defensive side of the football is DeMarcus Lawrence. Applying that pressure, he has to be effective in getting to the quarterback. I also want to throw in Rashid Shaheed. I think he's a major impact player on the special team side of the ball. Even this playoff, he opened up the against the 49ers with an opening kickoff return for a touchdown, which pretty much ended the game. Also, he has explosive plays that deep down the field that comes up, and nobody can catch him. He's the fastest guy on the field, so he's going to have a major. He can have a major impact on the game. So, on the Seattle side of the game, I think those are going to be like the key impact players. Sam Darnold, I'm not there with him yet as an impact guy.
You don't think so?
Geno Smith could have been playing in this game right here because Geno Smith with the Seattle Seahawks last year was good as well. So as far as having a major impact,
Darnold, though.
Geno Smith had a higher completion percentage, 72% completion percentage last year.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. I think Darnold has been very good at. He does have his games where he may have some turnovers.
Yeah.
Okay, but to his credit, when we're talking about like when they say big third down here, he's making a pass to complete it. He's thrown touchdowns. He's had a good amount of passing yards. It's not really anything that I can like generally say about Sam Darnold that he's really been bad at this season.
Yeah, no.
Like consistently, you know, he's giving you high passer ratings for most of these games, which means he's being efficient. He's moving the chains. He's distributing the football to different wide receivers. He's being able to balance a pass threat to make the run game even better. I think a lot of times we talk about running backs, opening up the pass game, but I do think the pass game can also open up the run game.
For sure.
So I think Sam Darnold has done a good job of that throughout the season, and even against tough opponents. I mean, in that game against the Rams, he had 346 yards passing. A 300-yard passing game is great by anybody's metric most of the time. But on top of that, the thing that was beautiful is he had 0 turnovers.
Turnovers, yeah.
So if you give me 3 touchdowns and 0 turnovers and 300 yards passing, I can't sit here and say, that you aren't an impact player.
Right.
Because one interception changes that game. They only won by 4.
Yeah.
Puka was also having a monster game. So do you want to give those guys the ball with Matthew Stafford potentially being MVP? No. So I think I got to give Sam Darnold some credit for that. And it's not like his completion percentage was bad. Even against the Rams, he was 69.4%, 70%, 76%, 66.7%. These are the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like he's been bad. I think he had like a little gap, like probably in November, December, where we saw his passing completion percentage go down a little bit. But to me, he's been good. He's been everything you can ask for out of a quarterback, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I would say he's still an impact player because
I'll put him on the bottom of my pecking order. Maybe above DeMarcus Lawrence.
Right above DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yeah.
If they win this game, he going to be the damn MVP.
It might be JSN.
Yeah, I mean, that's rare.
It might be. No, it ain't. I mean, what's the name? Julian Edelman won MVP.
Well, Edelman did. I mean, but...
It is rare, but he won it.
that was rare. I would say on the other side of that, impact players, since we mentioned quarterbacks, got to go Drake May.
100%.
Now, one thing I will say Drake May does that Sam Darnold does not do is run.
Yeah.
Drake May has the potential, and he's had some 60-yard rushing games as of recent and in the playoffs. So I think Drake May's rushing ability, he scores a lot of touchdowns for them in the red zone. Of course, as the quarterback, you're in charge of passing the football, making decisions, and not causing turnovers in a lot of games. I think all of that is very key and important and vital. But just overall, I think that team on offense moves as good as Drake May plays. Overall.
For sure.
I feel like I haven't seen Drake May come out there and have a lackluster game and a subpar game. And the few games where they won, it was days where Drake was not playing that great.
Yeah, but he's picked up by the defense. In the playoffs, he hasn't been playing that great. But he's been picked up kind of by the defenses a little bit when his lackluster play, opposed to earlier in the season and throughout this regular season. But definitely an impact player for the New England Patriots. If they want to win this football game, he's going to have to be one of the guys or the guy to make something happen.
Yeah, because in that last game, it was definitely the defense that was the MVP against the Broncos. Because had they had Bo Nix,
it could be a different ball game.
We could be talking about a different team.
Yeah.
But to their credit, they have been good. They have beat up on lesser opponents. This is a situation where they're not going against a lesser opponent, though. They're going against one of those top defenses and a top offense. So, they're going to have to deal with a lot, and they're going to need Drake May to step up and be – if New England Patriots fans are telling me they think Drake is the MVP, this is the game where you show me. In order for the New England Patriots to win this game, Drake May is going to have to be the MVP of the team. So I think he's an impact player for that particular reason. But who else you like from the Patriots?
Patriots, we already know. On the defensive side of the ball, Gonzo, Christian Gonzalez, man. He's going to have to be an impact player to defend Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. So he's going to have to be the one to limit as much as possible how many catches and receptions that JSN gets. So on the defensive side, definitely Christian Gonzalez. I want to add in somebody on the special teams, Marcus Jones. He also plays a defensive back, nickel back for the New England Patriots. He had a pick 6 this year. He had pick 6 in the playoffs, and he also had, he kickoff returns and punt returns. So, he can have an impact on the special teams similar to Rashid Shaheed for Seattle.
Okay.
So I wanted to throw him on the list of impact players because he has placed an impact on the team in certain games to win to determine.
We didn't mention Rashid Shaheed for Seattle, but
I did.
Impact player.
I did.
All right.
You missed the whole damn thing.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. I said because he opened the touchdown, had to open the kickoff return for a touchdown against San Francisco.
All right.
You didn't hear that?
Go ahead.
Run the tape.
Go ahead.
But yeah, those are my key impact players for the New England Patriots. I know you got a couple that you like, but those are my main ones right there.
Bonds is that receiving core that's gonna help him out.
Mm-hmm.
I think Diggs and Hunter Henry. Now I know that's kind of been the question for New England the past couple of years, but Diggs has emerged as their number one receiver. He's been revitalized, so to speak, in with his career. I feel like Diggs having a good game and or Hunter Henry having a good game. For one, like I said, it allows the pass to open up the run some more. That boosts your Travion Henderson, that boosts your Ramondre Stevenson run game. But I feel like Hunter Henry is a red zone threat, definitely. He's caught a lot of passes in the red zone, probably Drake May's favorite target down there if he doesn't run the ball in. Diggs has been able to be their key possession receiver in a lot of situations. Him and, some of the other guys like Mac Hollins make step up on a play or two here or there. But I think Diggs and Henry have to have a strong performance in order for them to be able to beat Seattle, because the Patriots are the underdog in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for an upset to occur, you need your best players to come out here and be impact players.
Fair.
At that point in the game. Because you're asking them to do something we don't expect them to do. And if any two guys I can see on offense standing out to make it happen, it has to be those two. Hunter Henry is such a red zone target threat and a bigger target for Drake May, but Diggs is the possession guy. He's the one going, if you're in danger of going 3 and out, he's the one that catches that big third down.
He's the 3rd and 7 guy.
Yeah.
He's the 3rd and 7 guy. Yeah, he's definitely the 3rd and 7 guy.
So I don't think that necessarily means Diggs has to have 100 yards receiving to be immensely important in this game. I think it means that it's more so when he catches the ball, not so much how much he catches the ball.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that's why I think he's an impact player. Because, you got the damn helmet catch that won the Patriots the Super Bowl several years ago. Or, that won the Giants the Super Bowl against the Patriots several years ago.
Decade ago.
David Tyree was not the biggest wide receiver or the most popular wide receiver or known target.
It happened when it happened.
But when it happened, it was hella important.
Yeah,
and I think Diggs has the opportunity to be that guy for the New England Patriots in this game.
That's fair. Fair point.
So, we talked about keys to success. We talked about impact players. But I know, just from me knowing what I know.
What you know?
I know the DGens are betting props.
They betting everything.
And they betting everything.
What color is the Gatorade?
They got national anthem, Gatorade.
How long
is the anthem? They got all these bets out there. Who wins the coin toss?
Right.
Heads or tails on the coin toss.
Right.
It's all type of shit out there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you to do the nonsensical bets, because that just ain't what Rip do. But I'm going to tell you my best props, though. I will tell you that. So let's talk about the PropBets.
PropBets. What you got? What do you got?
So, I know all my DJs that love to bet props. Some people, you're more of a game guy.
I'm a whole game guy.
You're more of a game guy.
I'm a whole game guy, unless there's a good over and under on a reception prop, total reception prop.
That ain't no problem.
I like those. Like,
that ain't no problem.
I'm a Jamar Chase over 6 type of guy.
Over 6 receptions.
Yeah, that's a good prop for me.
Okay.
That's the ones I found the most success winning.
I mean, that ain't no problem.
Yeah. We got those too.
We got you. So, one of my favorite props, let's talk about the monster of the game. JSN, his number is at 96.5, right? Now, for me, what I have seen my most success is when you make slight alt bets and not necessarily go with the straight up line, right? Because Vegas is very meticulous about their lines.
Oh, they are tricky.
You will have 96.5 and this motherfucker will have 96 yards receiving and piss you off.
Can't stand
them. So I'm thinking JSN over 69.5 yards. It's not because I don't think he'll get 96.5. I just think that when you have 2 weeks of game prep to plan for a guy, that gives you a slightly better chance at being able to slow this guy down. Now, he's such a freaking beast that he could still come out here and drop 150 yards receiving. I'm not saying he won't.
For sure.
I'm not saying that he won't have 10 receptions. I'm just saying that if you want to be smarter and you want to get a good bet, I think he goes over 70 yards receiving. However, I feel more comfortable with him going over 70 than 96 off of the defense having two weeks prep. But if he does go off and have one of those monster games, I'm not necessarily worried about him. I'm not sweating pins and needles that he doesn't get 2 more yards if he gets 90 receiving or 94 yards receiving. I'm not sweating on pins and needles. You go over 70, you go and get however many you want. That's your advantage of doing an alt line lower. So I'd take him at 69.5. I think he comes out here, he's good for 70. Another person that we just mentioned because of his versatility is Kenneth Walker, but that will be rushing and receiving. If you take him at an alt rushing receiving at 69.5, I think I trust Kenneth Walker in this spot. Because even if the Patriots are effective, Vrabel has been good at locking up some runs on some people.
Now, is Charbonnet playing? Because I know he's been injured the last couple games. Because I think that's probably been a factor.
That's also been a factor
in why K9's usage has been up.
I mean, me personally,
I don't think he's playing.
He should be playing in this game. But me personally though, even with Charbonnet, I feel like the amount of efficacy that you've had out of K9 so far in the playoffs just pushes you to at least give him the lion's share of the carries. I don't think they go to the Super Bowl after the way he's been playing in the playoffs and then just all of a sudden switch over all the carries to Charbonnet being the lead back. I don't see that happening, especially if we having a conversation of whether or not he's even playing. But to my knowledge, I believe he is playing.
Oh no, he's done. He got an ACL.
No.
Yeah, he's done. He got ACL.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah. Well, he's not. So that makes it even better.
Yeah,
that makes it even better for the sake of K9.
Yeah.
That would explain why I haven't really seen his props that much. I'm like, what the hell is Charbonnet?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I would take K9 69.5. That's rushing and receiving. Even if they stopping up the run, he can still catch the ball. He's done that pretty effectively against good teams also. I would say the Patriots defense has been at a similar level to the Rams defense, and he was able to get about 49 yards receiving off of them and 50 yards rushing. So I think an alt 70 over 69.5 is good for him. I'm also looking at the quarterbacks. One of those being made for two different things. One of those are rushing. Now his line is at 37.5. I feel like the Patriots have been pretty good at stopping people from running. Because I mean
Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle. I feel like they've been pretty good at stopping quarterbacks from scrambling on them. I'm a little bit nervous at 37.5, to be honest with you. I don't think it's crazy because he has run for 60, but when he played against Denver, he had 10. So you going against one of those top defenses, that rushing total is not as crazy, but he did have a high rushing total against the Patriots. Now, I will say, I think the Seattle Seahawks defense is better than the Patriots defense. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks defense is better than the Chargers defense. He had a big rushing game against them, but I think in this situation, they do a little bit better job of containing him. To your point, also, you said they play a lot of zone. So, they're going to have spies on him. They're going to be watching him. It's not like he's just going to be able to just run free and not have anybody anywhere in the area.
I think I looked it up. They play zone like 80% of the time.
Which means that they're watching.
Yeah.
That means that if Drake May wants to be effective, he has to carve up the zone. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be able to scramble as much. So I think you have two options here. Either you can go to under 37.5, or you can go over all 19.5 or 24.5. I'm okay with either of those. I think a safe bet, you possibly go with the smallest, lowest number. Try to go over that because I do think they're going to generate pressure and he's going to have to take off and scramble.
The safe
now, how
bet
many times?
Is no bet.
Where's the fun in that?
Right.
But I would say one of those three. Whichever one you feeling more leaning towards. If you're feeling more conservative, you take the lowest over rushing number. If you're feeling like I'm in the Seattle, I'm all in on Seattle, I think their defense is going to go crazy, you take the under on it because they're going to have to contain Drake May and force him to pass. So I can see that. Now, on the other side of that, I do see Drake May passing, possibly going over 221.5 because I feel like Vrabel in that defense has been pretty good at stuffing up runs. They've been forcing quarterbacks to pass.
Yeah.
And Seattle, to their credit, they have started some games, and the concern about Seattle is they have came out foot on the gas.
Yeah.
And kind of eased up on some people. And that has kind of put them into some predicaments throughout the season. But I think that means that the Patriots would be playing from behind. And if they're playing from behind, pause.
Throw.
They're going to be throwing. Yeah. So Drake May over 221.5 isn't terrible. I also like Sam Darnold passing over 230.5. Just because, like I said, some of their best performances in games have come from him passing well.
Yeah.
Limiting the turnovers. Even utilizing Kenneth Walker and not having Charbonnet, because Charbonnet doesn't really catch as much as Kenneth Walker. But if they don't have Charbonnet in this game, that makes me like Darnold's passing even more.
They run a lot of screens with Kenneth Walker.
They'll run a screen like a motherfucker. So if you run the screens and you got JSN, that 230.5 looks very enticing. And I saw another stat about these two teams or Super Bowl teams and going over in passing yards has been pretty high in frequency. So give me Darnold passing. I'm trying to think who else I like. Mac Hollins, Kayshon Boutte.
Oh, yeah.
Kayshon Boutte is at 30.5 yards receiving. Mac Hollins is at 26.5 yards receiving. I like them both, honestly. I feel like I said, I think Diggs' impact doesn't necessarily come from him having a monstrous receiving yard game. It's more so when he catches the ball. So, I still feel like it's going to be possessions where you get Kayshon Boutte 15-yard pass, on the sideline, or Mac Hollins a 25-yard catch across the middle.
Yeah, same. They all have explosive receptions.
I don't think
Most
they
of their
have
stuff is explosive.
It's explosive receptions. It's not like a monstrous amount of catches or anything, but I do think you could easily get those two guys to go over in 2 catches.
Yeah, or one.
Yeah, with the way they typically catch the ball. So I like Mac Hollins over 26.5 and Kayshon Boutte over 30.5 in this game. And the last one I would say is probably a pretty wise bet, generally speaking. I kind of like Travion Henderson rushing because I feel like they're going to have to get him in there.
We just haven't seen it.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, we haven't seen. I don't know what happened. He just hasn't been in the plan for rushing.
I will say that one is probably the scariest out of all those. The Drake May rushing and the Trayvon. The Henderson rushing is probably the scariest out of all those. So I would probably put those at the bottom of my list.
Yeah.
However, I just feel like you got to utilize that other running back. Seattle's defense is way too aggressive, way too just forceful.
Yeah, and they big up front.
They're gonna wear you down.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to utilize both of your running backs, in my opinion. And I don't think you can just lean and just say, okay, especially at the beginning of the game. I think they're gonna have to pass a lot more later. I didn't look at his rushing and receiving line, but 18.5 rushing yards doesn't sound too crazy for him because he can be that explosive back.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my top props that I like for my DJs. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm trying to put together combinations of and parlays of and whatnot, man. Onyx Odds. I know this usually go at the end, but
since we're talking about it now,
since we're talking about props, Onyx Odds, listen, they still offering crazy sign-up bonuses for those of you that haven't done it. The link is going to be in the description. If you're talking prop bets and you want to try out some bets and you're not sure which direction you want to go, if you deposit $10, they are still offering $100 in bonus picks. So you deposit a smooth 10 and you get $100 in bonus picks. You can feel free to utilize some of those on some game bets, some prop bets, whatever type of bets you want to do. It's all in the app. So Onyx Odds, link in the description if you're looking for a way to play some of these prop bets and just see some money. And then if you don't necessarily hit it, you didn't use your money. Only thing you put up was $10.
That's it.
So, I mean, if you're going to bet on it anyway and be a degenerate, why not click the link and get $100 in free bets? That's all I'm saying.
Sign up, chat.
But do you have any other special things you want to tell them before we tell these folks the grand finale of this episode?
That's it. I ain't got nothing else. What else I got to say? I don't know.
Well, tell these folks your best bets.
Yeah, man.
Because the DJs want to bet on the game too.
Best bets for this game.
What do you got?
I'm taking the New England Patriots plus 4.5 to cover the spread.
Why is that?
Okay. I think with how explosive New England's offense can be, I think they'll be able to keep up with the scoring of the Seattle offense if it gets into a shootout match, which I think it can be a semi-shootout.
So you think it's something similar to the Rams game?
Even with the defenses, yeah. I think it would be similar to the Rams game. Because Seattle's had a good defense and the Rams had a good defense and they still scored 30-some points. You know what I mean? So I think, similar thing can happen here, which leads me into my next best bet, which is the over, 45.5. I think it goes over. I think the score could be, Seattle 28, New England 21, or New England 24. So I think that's probably what the score is going to be around there in the 20s.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like New England to cover, and I like the over.
I also like New England to cover this just because I feel like the preparation, Vrabel being the coach, has been well, as I mentioned earlier and alluded to in this episode. For a lot of the aforementioned reasons that you just stated, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, so I'm not going to say too much. But I will say that the way the money is balanced in this game, it's very heavy on Seattle.
Heavy.
And we're talking a lot of fucking money.
Listen, I wouldn't be surprised if New England won the game. Let's say that. I'd say I would not be surprised with the shit that's been in the media about Bill Belichick not getting the first ballot Hall of Fame and Robert Kraft not getting first ballot Hall of Fame. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
Somebody's pissed. I'll say that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll say that. I wouldn't be super surprised. All logic says that Seattle should win this game money line.
That's what the logic says.
All logic.
Mm-hmm.
All logic says that Seattle is the better team.
Yeah.
And they should be able to beat them convincingly.
Yeah.
However, everything in me just says that it's not going to happen.
Let me ask you a question.
That way.
Do you think Drake May is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold today?
Today?
Yeah.
Off of their last couple performances, no.
Okay.
Just based off the last
season.
couple of performances. Now, the entirety of the regular season, I could probably say Drake May just based off of stats.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like Sam Darnold had a much greater strength of opponent than Drake May had throughout the season. So for Sam Darnold to do what he has done throughout this season, you know, I can make an argument for him. But on the flip side of that too is one could also argue is that Sam Darnold has JSN and Drake May has Diggs. It's not that's not a slight at Diggs. It's just to say that
they're not the same.
It's just not the same.
Yeah.
Like Diggs is your best receiver, but JSN is a fucking monster.
Diggs is on the down path of his career. JSN is
going
on
up.
Ascension. Yeah.
He's having 1,700 yards receiving, and he's still getting better.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you know, one can make that argument if I'm just being non-biased. But if we're talking about as of recent throughout the playoffs, I would take Sam Darnold's performances over Drake May's performances.
Yeah.
And not that he's been bad because he's had a couple of really good games, but he also had a game in there against where he didn't do much.
Who do you think would need to have the bigger impact
in order for him to win?
Yeah.
Drake May. Because Seattle's defense is better than New England's defense.
Okay, that's fair.
I think Drake May has to have a monster game for
even though New England's defense carried Drake May against the Broncos.
They carried him against the Broncos.
He didn't have the impact, but the defense had the bigger impact, and they end up winning the game.
The difference is, though, the Broncos' offense was hobbled by not having their starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They still got JSN, Darnold, and K9. These are your top three most important guys on offense. If I had to rank them, you got JSN, you got Darnold, you got K9. If I had to rank them, and the only reason and that's not to say K9 isn't, you know, highly important. It's just the quarterback is going to touch the ball every single play.
Right.
So whether that be a handoff or whether that be a pass, the quarterback is probably going to touch the ball every single play unless it's one of those trick plays, wildcats, something crazy that you're pulling out your ass to do to distract the defense. So I just feel like Drake May has to play great and above and beyond in order for him to win. Sam Darnold has to continue
a good supporting cast.
He has a good supporting cast. He has to continue doing what he's been doing in order for them to win. Now, to his credit, he's been great at mitigating the turnovers. So I think that part is highly important. So all logic says the Seattle money line is a great bet. Now, that's not exactly the greatest payoff in terms because it's minus 235.
Depending on how much money you put on.
Depending on how much money you want to put on it. So, I mean, Seattle money line, great bet.
Shit, you put $100,000 on it, that thing don't look too bad for a payoff.
It don't look too bad if you got that kind of bread.
Yeah.
But the Patriots, most of the money is on Seattle, on the points and the spread. Now, one of the things that I've been kind of practicing is being very precautious on games like that, especially where it's a high number of bets.
That's public money.
It's going to be an exuberant amount of bets.
Yeah.
So Vegas stands a chance to make an exuberant amount of money. So therefore, the Patriots bet covering on the spread side is cool, but I think Seattle has a lot of pressure, and most of the bets is on the spread, not necessarily the money line. So I am a little bit lenient towards that myself. So much money on props and stuff like that. I think that over and under total is hard to control. So I feel like it's more money on props than over and under totals. So I'm okay with your total over.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that number. But those are my two. Seattle money line, Patriots plus 4.5. Probably my two best bets for this game, though.
I like it. I like it a lot.
I like it a lot. Oh man, but it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be fun. Whatever you decide to do, whether it be bet, whether it be to watch for the Super Bowl commercials, the halftime show, or for your own personal enjoyment, whatever the hell you decide to do with this game.
I want to see Bad Bunny.
If you want to see Bad Bunny and you don't care about none of this,
I want to see Bad Bunny.
That's cool too. They got a bet on how long the show will be also.
28 minutes.
So,
and it's 13 seconds. He said 30 minutes. That's what he said. He got 30 minutes.
That's what Bad Bunny said?
Yeah.
He said he got 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's a 30-minute halftime performance. So I'm going to be around there. Yeah, the halftime show is long.
30 though?
That's probably like total to get in, get out.
30 is crazy. I don't feel like it's been that many. But regardless, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. We are wrapping up the football season, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. But because I love you so much, I still got to talk a little basketball. I still got to tap in with y'all about that. Trade deadline been going crazy. I might pop up out the blue and talk about some of these trade deadline moves. You never know with me. You never know. But with all that being said, man, we hope y'all have enjoyed No Hedging Football throughout this season.
Yeah. Shout out to all the new subs.
Appreciate y'all.
Shout out to all the comments.
Appreciate y'all.
The likes. We love it all.
Drop some more comments. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know some friends you want us to tap in. If you want to tap in, if you got some opinions and all that stuff, let us know, man. Use that comment section. Talk to us. We talk back. And we hope y'all enjoy the game, man. We hope y'all stay safe. We hope you have fun. We hope y'all have enjoyed this show. We put a lot into it, a lot of energy and effort. Appreciate you, brother, for all the sacrifices you have made throughout this season to make sure this show goes on and continues. And yeah, man, anything else you want to tell the people, man?
Hey, man, parlays.
Making money line plays. May all these bets continue to pay.
Yes, sir.
Because I need that money.
I need that money
today. So, y'all be safe. Peace, love, soul grease. And we'll see y'all
on the flip. We out.
For sure.
Nigga.